just tick boxes? Have young people positioned themselves as those that want to change the agenda and how these parties are being run? Or are they just there again to say, chama yetu imeleta vijana, but vijana wako pale kuangaliwa, sio kusikizwa?
First of all, I'm a member of DCP party that is led by Rigathi Gachagua. And as a member of DCP party, I didn't just join DCP party one morning. I listened to the people of Nyandarua and they told me, yeah, you can be a good women rep, but our ideologies and the people who are pushing our issues and raising our concerns, we see them more in DCP party. And as a person who wants to lead people, you have to lead people from where they want. You can only, you see, democracy is about numbers. And unfortunately, we are not told which numbers, they are just numbers. So if the numbers in my county as a young person are leaning towards this political party, I need to ensure that I join the party. I take charge of what I can be in that party, whether I want to be an active member, whether I want to be an inactive member, whether I want to be part of the policies that are being made, the youth manifestos, economic ones, women charters and all these. And again also, we as young people, of course, by the virtue of lack of funding, have not been able we've not been able to come up with a party that particularly the party leader is a young person. Reason being, when you go to ORPP, the requirements for you to own a party, you have to have physical offices in a certain number of counties, more than half the counties. Before they give you that certificate, the financial cost that you're supposed to undergo as a group, the young people cannot afford that. Number two, ORPP has regulations that you just can't have a party of young people. You need to have the old agenda. So meaning, even in your NEC membership, in your other secretariat, you have to balance between the old, the young, and everybody. So it means even if a young person was to have a party, they have to still incorporate the older generation. They have to still incorporate different categories of people. But what I'm trying to, as a young person, do, because we will not always be there to say we don't have funding. Tomorrow we will have funding. Tomorrow we will be party leaders. What I think we need to make the Kenyan voter and the political space in Kenya understand is that we need to move away from having to have vehicles every other election. We need to try upgrade ourselves to the global way of doing politics, where you stand up for something. Today, when we talk of Democrats and Republicans, we know what they stand for. We don't even need to ask the person who is going to be voted for as a Republican what they'll stand for in terms of economy, what they'll stand for in terms of social policies. We don't need to ask. We know what those we know that side, what it stands for. They can only come in to voice, but the ideology is already there. It has a very strong foundation. So you either implement that or you get out and somebody else comes and implements. But unfortunately, the system that we have in the African countries, our ideologies have a timeline of a certain period. You know, what we stood for right now. Me, I was part of Azimio government that we tried having Baba as a president. But 1 year after elections, the ideologies he stood for, suddenly they changed and he went to broad-based government, and I was left asking, sasa huyu ameenda broad-based, mimi nimebaki opposition, you know. So as young people, what we need to do, we need to challenge status quo by giving civic education to because in the next 20-15 years, generations will be having a bare minimum of Form 4 education level. So they'll be able to, we will no longer be talking about civic education in Kikuyu language, in Kisii, in Luo language. We'll be having at least a bare minimum of understanding how to read and write and understand what we need as a nation. But again, we need to grow a culture of we ourselves as voters funding political parties. Until voters agree to fund political parties, they'll never be independent, because somebody somewhere is seated with his 15 million and is wondering, which business do I open? Then he thinks of a hardware. No, it's not going to give me profit in time. Do I do a salon? No, it's not going to give me profit in time. But this 15 million, I can fund a party and they give me a slot for member of parliament nomination, and I have a salary like a member of parliament. I have powers and privileges of a power, So this person will look at it and say, instead of me doing this business, let me go take this 15 million to a certain individual, and I'm going to get this opportunity. It has been there. It has been happening. We would be lying to ourselves if we said that business is not happening in political parties. Today, when you hear a police station is being closed down because the person who had given this police station is no longer in the broad-based government, and he has decided, I will not renew your lease. If you look at it very well, you understand that the political class has understood how to hold hostage of very many institutions. Can you imagine a police station is being leased by an individual? We are yet now to hear, mimi nimechukua Land Cruiser yangu, nitakuwa nabeba nayo mboga. So what we are talking as Kenyans, we need to ensure that the voter again takes the responsibilities. And because you see, when Obama was doing campaigns, we saw the $1 campaign. Today, when campaigns happen abroad, they are people-oriented.
Yeah.
So this person knows that whatever campaign money I spend is on these people. The Republicans fund their people. So these people go there with a lot of responsibility. Today, when we look at those global politics, I look at a woman who is called Kimi, and they say, if Kenyans would take it up upon themselves to bring in this culture of making sure that our institutions are independent. Because if I fund a political party, I am going to demand for what I want. And chances are, a young person who did not give the money, a young person who did not give products to that party, will have to be compromised. And that is why, as young people, we need to be open to understanding that these systems are very deeply rooted, that we cannot just wake up and fix them today. But because we are learning, so the problem is funding. So what do we need to do? We need to give civic education to the voter to fund. When the voter funds, a party is able to tell you. Because today, I will tell you, today, even if you are a murderer, even if you are a wash person, you walk into a political party with your 200 million, I am telling you tomorrow, you will have your seat placed to the VIP section, and you will be treated with so much respect than a young person.
So there's a lot of work to do then.
There is a lot of work to do, I agree.
Because
that I agree.
The system is corrupted.